This is Jennifer Palamas from Charlotte, North Carolina, and this is BBQ Central.
In a world permeated with barbecue websites under the control of tyrannical administrators, there was one man, a one-man army. He broke all the rules. He allowed his members to speak out, give their opinions, and make the website what it is today. Get ready for Greg Rempe and the Barbecue Central Show.
Live from Cleveland, Ohio, it's the BBQ Central Show.
Welcome to the BBQ Central Show. A very good Tuesday evening to you, wherever you may be, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, wherever you are. Go ahead, make your time zone adjustments and as necessary. And realize, of course, that you have made the most brilliant of decisions on your Tuesday evening. That is to join me for another episode of the BBQ Central Show right here on LA Talk Radio. Great show lined up for you tonight. Let me go ahead and give you your contact information right off the top. If you want to call in on the show tonight, and I should probably, given last week's show, go over exactly how that works. But you want to call 216-220-0966. If you want to email the show, you can certainly do that as well. BBQ Central Radio at gmail.com. I mentioned I should probably go over exactly what the contact information is. You're at the latalkradio.com website, and the player launch is behind that page. There's an additional page of contact information. You probably see an email address that says info at LA Talk Radio. There's some type of 313 area code and then phone number. Now, 98% of the time, if you listen to LA Talk Radio, those numbers and that email address would be fine for the simple fact that LA Talk Radio is an existing brick-and-mortar studio, housing two studios at this point, and that is the contact information for those LA-based jocks and hosts. However, in this particular case, the case of the Barbecue Central Show, I am remotely located here in Cleveland, and through various technologies, which I will not bore you with, I am able to actually receive all of my own phone calls and all of my own email addresses right here in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, dare I say, the barbecue capital of the North Coast, where you can buy a house for the price of a VCR. That's right. Fun times in Cleveland today. 216-220-0966, BBQ Central Radio at gmail.com, again, is the contact information. Of course, a lot of buzz still going on after last week's conversation with Rod Gray. Nothing we're really going to rehash tonight, but if you do have some thoughts, I would ask that you save those for the fourth segment, which is more structured for the open format, open calls. So if you do want to weigh in on that, certainly more than welcome to do that. I would like to say, however, that there was a lot of speculation after Rod's appearance on the show in certain forums, no names please, as part of the show, that a certain person's name was used, and I would like to take this time to point out specifically that while, again, if you know the board of the KCBS and you know who's on it, and you read Rod's comments about the that kind of scathing "what if" post he had on his blog, a lot of people probably thought they knew he was referring to, but Rod never said anybody in particular, never used a specific name, and people started throwing names out, more or less the same name, in a couple different barbecue forums. So nobody has contacted me to want to express or discount anything that Rod has said. It's certainly up to that person to not come on, do whatever they want to feel is necessary. I would like to say that if that person is interested in doing that, certainly more than happy to host. I'm certainly an impartial, unbiased host. I am not a member of the KCBS, the FBA, the ICBA, the BBQA, BBQ. No. I'm just a forum host, or I'm a host providing a forum, a platform for people to talk about the good time of barbecue and grilling. So there's that. A couple great interviews lined up for you this evening, which we will get to second segment, third segment, fourth segment, free-for-all, back to being sponsored by PD River Swamp Sauce again, so you will get a chance to win a 2-pack of PD River Swamp Sauce. You can visit them at swampsauce.com. So that's the fourth segment, free-for-all. Great stuff lined up. I have a bunch of stuff that I need to get through here in the next couple minutes, and then hopefully I'll have some time on the back end fourth segment after we get the winner for the swamp sauce to talk about a few things. But I've been receiving samples of stuff and people sending me emails. Would you try this? Will you not try that? Let me know what you think and talk about it on your radio show if it's so inclined. And there's been a few things that have made its way to the door more and more recently. Just got a great package of stuff that I'm currently trying out that I'll be able to actually give my full dissertation on here in the next week or so. But I a couple weeks ago got a unique product. Now, certainly I am one of the biggest proponents and one of the biggest speechifiers of not using lighter fluid when you want to light your live fires. I think why not pour gasoline if you're going to do that? It's already on hand. No reason to add additional gasoline to the garage or to the cars or whatever. You just use what you got. But there's been a number of products out there that have been developed to help you start your fires without the use of the petroleum-based lighter fluid stuff. One of those happens to be a product called Fire Gel, and that would be spelled fire and then gel, J-E-L. This is I believe it's a corn-based. It comes in a food-grade little plastic tub. You get about 15 minutes of burn out of it, and it's really kind of hyper fire. I know a lot of people will look at it and maybe think twice about it because the price tag might be a little bit more than you usually want to spend on that stuff, but sometimes those Weber starter cubes aren't as widely available as they are in certain regions of the country or at certain times of the year. This is a very good substitute for that. This can also double in lighting your firebox in your offset as well. So it's not just for charcoal, it's not just for your chimney starters. You can also do actual live fire in fireplaces or in your offset firebox too. And really, that's all the time that I have for this right now, unfortunately. Got a couple great interviews lined up here in the next couple segments. Have you ever wondered what it's like to work for a company that is on the forefront of making your barbecue and grilling life easier? We'll talk to one of those persons next. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show here on LA Talk Radio.
The future of barbecue is already here at thebarbecueguru.com. From the amazing guru that monitors and controls the temperatures of any charcoal, wood, or electric pit to the Caldera Tallboy knockdown smoker. Yes, it breaks down and stores flat, yet it's still a robust, sturdy, portable cooker and smokehouse. It also serves as an efficient temperature-controlled convection oven using wood or charcoal. The Tallboy is designed to fit all catering pans and can be used as a warming oven. You can cook in any style you choose. Make ribs, chicken, jerky, vegetables, smoked cheese, whatever you want. Take it to KCBS competitions and unload it from the trunk of your car. TheBarbecueGuru.com is where you'll find the Caldera 3-Bay Caterer. It's stainless steel and uses charcoal or sterno for chafing purposes. And it doubles as a 3-bay sink or wash station with hot water and knocks down in seconds with no tools required for transportation and storage. The future of barbecue is here at thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU.
Forget going from site to site to get all your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the pellet grill superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber as well as a full lineup of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. You can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Stephen Reichland of Barbecue U fame. Check Fred out on the web at fredsmusicandbbq.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show on LA Talk Radio.
All right, welcome back to the Barbecue Central Show. I am your host, Greg Rempe. You know, Centralites, I got to ask you a question. Do you make bad barbecue? Come on, admit it. Your barbecue doesn't taste as good as you want it to, but making great barbecue is easy with D-Dog's barbecue rubs and sauces. With all natural ingredients, D-Dog's produces a product that will make your friends and family keep begging for more. So order some today at ddogsbbq.com. That's ddogsbbq.com. Also coming very soon, the D-Dog's Peach Rub, which Darren has been talking about for some time now. Go to ddogsbbq.com for updates. D-Dog's Barbecue Rub, that's right. All right, let me give you your contact information one more time. If you want to call in at any point, 216-220-0966, BBQ Central Radio at gmail.com if you want to email a question. As promised, joining me now, as I had kind of teased on the way out, somebody that works for a company that is on the forefront of making your barbecue and grilling life easier. But before we get to that guest, we are squeezing in a very special first-time guest, probably, if memory serves me correctly, the youngest guest to appear on the Barbecue Central Show. This is daughter of Bob Trudnak. This is Madeline Trudnak joining us. Madeline, welcome to the Barbecue Central Show. How are you?
Good.
Madeline, thanks for joining me, and wanted to have you on very quickly tonight because a lot of people wonder where that next generation of competitive barbecuer is coming from, and you are actually going to be taking place in a kids' queue coming up in August, right?
Yeah.
So what can you tell me about the kids' queue? What happens in that? Do you know?
Yes. Couple of teams, 8 through 10, are competing in a kids cook-off, and they're going to have to cook chicken, beef, and chef's choice.
Chef's choice.
And I'm actually very excited about that.
Yeah, I bet. So now you get this love of barbecue and competition from your dad and the guys at the BBQ Guru?
Yeah.
And what's your favorite category to cook?
Probably have to say chicken.
Chicken. Is beef hard to cook? Do you have to cook the beef brisket for that?
I don't think so.
Oh, good, because that's I can't even cook that, and I'm 35. I mean, I'm really old. All right, so that's going to be in August. So what I'd like to do is after you take place in it, maybe we can have you back on and you can tell us how you did and what you thought of it.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's switch over to your dad. And Madeline, thanks for coming on tonight.
Okay.
All right. That's Madeline Trudnak, competitive barbecuer in the making, and a good mentor, not only dad, but also all the other guys and gals that take place in the barbecue competition cooking team. Welcoming in now Bob Trudnak, certainly probably outdone by his daughter, and he'll be picking up the slack for the rest of the interview. Bob, welcome back to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Greg. How are you? Welcome. Glad to be back.
Good. Appreciate you taking time out. So, last time we were talking about, how the Barbecue Guru came to be and, about the business side and some of those flagship products that, still exist out there today, but a lot of things new going on there right now. Of course, last time we talked about that CyberQ. How is that doing and how is that being received and being purchased?
It's actually being received extremely well, better than we could have ever imagined. As fast as we can make them, they're flying off the shelves. Very little tech support, easy to use interface, which we were really pushing for. So we have very little calls about tech issues and customer service, but people have been thrilled with it. We've been thrilled with it, using it in competitions, and it's just a great control. And with the PC application, it just makes it even nicer to change temperatures and view it from inside the house.
And you were actually able to control more than one pit with this one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. The CyberQ 2 is like two controls in one. So you can control two cookers at the same time and up to 4 fans. So if you do have 2 large smokers running 2 fans on each, it is capable of running that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, I'd seen a post on, I don't know if it was on my forum, might have been on the barbecue forum itself, about somebody that had looked like a bigger Lang offset, and they had a question about if some of the barbecue units, BBQ Guru units, would work on a big offset type pit.
Absolutely. People call and ask that all the time, and really the controls will work on anything from a $15, little kettle grill all the way up to the, thousands of dollar trailer mounted pits. It's just all about, what fan size you use and how many you use of them.
All right, so the breadwinning and the continued success of any company is not only mastering the products that they're currently out on the market that you're offering, but is to constantly evolve and offer new products into the market that you're selling into. A couple new things to talk about tonight. One is a new smoker, so go ahead and tell us about that. And by the way, we're talking with Bob Trudnak from the BBQ Guru. Go ahead, Bob.
Okay. A little bit about the new smoker. We've had the Tall Boy out for 4 or 5 years now, and that's been received well. But our new smoker is a little more compact. It is insulated, double wall. It's called the Onyx Oven. And we're kind of marketing it as a do-everything oven because you can. It is a barbecue smoker, but it's also a grill. You can also bake breads and pizzas, roast and bake, and we've been putting it to the test. We have a couple prototypes that we've been cooking on in competition and cooking on at the shop, and just running it through all the tests and cooking everything we can possibly think of. And it really is a great cooker. It's a water smoker when you have the pan in it, but you can remove the pan, cook directly. We have stones that are rectangle that fit just above the charcoal, so you can use that like a breadboard, like a pizza stone. Mm-hmm. And it uses our temperature controls, and we're going to sell it with the temperature control, obviously, like our Tall Boy. So you can buy it with or without the control, depending on if you have one already or not.
Now, is this pit, is this a genesis of customers constantly giving you ideas and feedback about the existing Tall Boy smoker? Is this something that you guys and the other Barbecue Guru employees had thought about yourself and wanted to see it come to fruition? I mean, where does the idea for something new like this to come out in the market?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. We're always constantly trying to improve our product, but we do that by listening to the barbecue guys. We do that by listening to our customers. Can you change this? Can you make this a little smaller? We need it easier to move around, or it's just a husband and wife team who wants something extremely portable, but with a good amount of cooking space. We want it insulated. We want a heavier duty latch, things like that. So it comes from both us wanting to better the product and from the customers giving suggestions.
So what's the capacity of this pit, and what's the potential price tag for it?
It's going to have 5 shelf positions, and I'm going to guess you can hold probably, as of right now, about 10 racks of ribs. If you're doing baby backs, you can do 15. About 6 pork butts, maybe 4, 5 brisket flats, or 2 whole briskets, 15-pound briskets.
So good cooking capacity, especially for competition.
Oh yeah, very, very, and we're kind of gearing it toward somebody who wants to do competitions as well as cook for backyard parties. The Tall Boy holds 100 pounds of meat. This probably holds, 50 or 60, but in half the size. It actually holds the Tall Boy shelf, but if you put it in from the side, so it's 22 inches wide by 13 inches deep, so you can access all your meats without having to pull a shelf out and get past another piece of meat.
Cool to think that, the Caldera the Tall Boy was certainly one of the more easily traveled smoker, something you could break down and almost fit in your car as well. So to have something that's
absolutely.
even more portable is going to be very encouraging.
Yeah, that's what we were going for. Even though the tall boy is very portable, you do still have to break it down a little bit. And this one, with the steel construction and the high temp powder coating, still is easily picked up. It's got 2 heavy-duty handles on the sides. So it's very easy to move around and get in and out of your truck or your trailer or whatever you have with you.
And what's the potential price point for that one?
Well, everything's made here in America. We do most of our products on site in Pennsylvania, and a couple of things we outsource are still done locally. So we are trying very hard to get it in under $1,000 with a control. That's our goal, and I think it'll be a great price for the type of smoker it is.
All right, so coupling that with the new control that you have out, and I know the last time we talked, I had mentioned about the kind of that one of those old flagship products called the Pit Minder. You have something new out that is a automatic pit temperature control device that might be kind of taking place of that. Go ahead and tell us about that one.
Right. Well, the Pit Minder, a lot of people love the control, including myself. Very simple. You set a temperature within 5 or 25 degrees, and you just kind of went by your smoker thermometer. So you would set it to 225, and it just ran at 225. No display or anything, but very simple, very easy. And analog parts kind of were getting expensive and hard to find. So we decided to discontinue it. But we got a lot of emails and calls. People saying, what are you doing? This is the control that everybody loves. So we decided to make a digital control called the NanoQ, and it will replace the Pit Minder. Still very easy to use. Right out of the box, you can hook it up to your smoker, and it'll control it at 225 without having to touch a button. But by pushing the up or down arrow, you will set the temperature in 5-degree increments. So hit it twice, you're up to 235. Go down twice, you're down to 220 or 215. But basically, it's set it and forget it. It's like a little cruise control, no bells and whistles. And we're going to try to bring that in around the same price as the original Pit Minder, which will be just over $100 plus your fan and adapter.
That's the NanoQ. This is Bob Trudnak from the BBQ Guru. Also, probably right around the same time that your daughter's going to be taking place in that Kids Q, you guys are actually going to be hosting a cooking class. Seems like a lot of people doing some type of barbecue competition cooking class. Is this just more of like a general barbecue class, or is this a competition cooking class?
Well, it started out as a general barbecue cooking class, and then we decided, along with the hosts of the bed and breakfast where this is taking place in Pennsylvania, to do kind of a fun basic competition cooking class. Teach them how we do the 4 meats, and maybe team people up into 2 different groups and let them season the food and cook the food and see how they like it. So it's kind of going to be a fun barbecue event and a little bit of competition barbecue in there as well.
So if people want to get in on that, is there a particular website that they can go to or any information they can find out about the class and sign up?
Well, all that is going to be posted on our website in the next week. So if they go to thebbqguru.com, the final details are being made. I know we're going to do this the first week of August. It is going to be here in Pennsylvania, but all the details will be up on the web very soon.
And certainly, we're in full swing when it comes to competition barbecue. So if people are out traveling the circuits and they want to check the BBQ Guru guys out, where are you guys going to be at over the next handful of weeks?
Wow. The first competition we have next, actually we've done 4 already this season, is going to be Wildwood, New Jersey. And that's kind of a neat event right off the beach, the main drag of Wildwood, which is kind of a fun party town. So that's going to be July 10th and 11th. And then 2 weeks later, we'll be up in Vermont at the Harpoon Brewery. They have a great event up there. Fresh, cold beer right out of the taps.
Yummy.
And good barbecue. One of my favorites.
No doubt.
And that's a unique event. I'll say briefly that they don't have food vendors there. All the barbecue teams vend food. So if you come up to that event in Windsor, Vermont, you're going to get food that all the competitors cook, and they're going to be vending as well as competing for 2 days.
And that rarely happens, I'd like to point out, too, by the way.
It does, and people love it, and the crowds are huge, and we just have a blast. And then we have Bel Air, Maryland in August, as well as the New Holland Summerfest, where Maddie's first kids' queue is going to be.
That sounds like she's very pumped up, and she's got a couple months there to practice yet. So
yeah, I've been pushing her. She's very excited. Her and her two friends, Allie and Allie, are going to be a competition team. So
wow.
But I think the thing they're worrying about the most is what they're going to call themselves.
It's like three girls wondering what they're going to call themselves, more than if they're going to get the meat turned in on time or anything like that. So that certainly follows suit. So this is Bob Trudnak from the BBQ Guru. Bob, certainly always appreciate you coming on to talk about the products. We'll be on the lookout for that Onyx Oven, and then, of course, the Nano Q. Is there a release date for that?
Nano Q will be out within the month. So I'm going to say 3 to 4 weeks.
Cool.
And I'll be posting information and putting banners up on the barbecue forum. And just give us a call if you have any questions. I can get into it in detail with you guys. And I know it's going to. We've already tested the product. It's fantastic. I can't wait to get it to the market.
All right, we'll be on the lookout for that. Again, this is Bob Trudnak from the BBQ Guru. Bob, I always appreciate you coming on the show to talk about all things barbecue. Appreciate you taking the time out tonight. Thanks.
All right, Greg. Thanks again.
All right, Bob. Take care.
Take care, pal.
That's Bob Trudnak, BBQ Guru. You want to check him out on the web, thebbqguru.com. You can call them toll-free on their dime, 800-288-GURU. Rained a little bit over there, but Madeline was worth it. Love the kids getting up in the competition barbecue. She'll have more competitions under her belt than I already have under mine. Sad state of affairs, gentlemen. All right, hey, ever wonder how those food bloggers come up with those great recipes and how they get those great succulent-looking pictures? We'll have a conversation with one of those guys when we get back. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show here on LA Talk Radio.
Get going from site to site to get all your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the pellet grill superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber as well as a full lineup of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. You can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Stephen Reichland of Barbecue U fame. Check Fred out on the web at fredsmusicandbbq.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA.
Barbecue has never been easier with the BBQ Guru. The BBQ Guru is a temperature control and monitor for all pits, charcoal, wood, electric, your pit. It easily attaches to any smoker or pit and gives you simple, trouble-free control of your temperatures so you can make championship quality barbecue every time and all the time. And it's location-free. Take it anywhere. This amazing breakthrough in barbecue technology is a microprocessor-controlled draft system that uses temperature monitors and a small fan to keep your temperatures constant. The stainless steel Guru Pit Minder gives you a choice of controls from 90 to 370 degrees. So cold smoking, pepper drying, making cheese or jerky, or fabulous briskets and ribs is nothing short of effortless. The ProCom 4 lets you monitor your pit from up to 600 feet away. And there's more. Check out the full line of products and accessories for the future of barbecue with new items on the way. Visit thebbqguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU.
Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show on LA Talk Radio.
All right, welcome back. Barbecue Central Show here on LA Talk Radio. This portion of the show brought to you by Yoder's Smoky Mountain Barbecue, makers of or distributor of Meadow Creek barbecue equipment. These barbecue smokers, pig roasters, chicken cookers, grills are handcrafted in the Amish country of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Goal is to give you outstanding value for the price, help you enjoy easy and profitable barbecues for years to come. They also carry a complete line of sauces and rubs. Check them out, SeriousBBQs.com. All right, as promised, joining me as I fade out here. Joining me now, we are having evidently some technical difficulties. Maybe not. This is John Dawson from Patio Daddy-O Barbecue.
Hey, Greg. Thanks for having me on, bud.
Gee, man, blowing right over the top of me, loud and proud. What's up, John?
That's how I roll, baby.
I hear you. So thanks for coming on tonight. Sorry I ran long there with Bob Trudnak from the BBQ Guru, but the potential competitive barbecuer of his daughter certainly upstaged the whole interview process tonight, and glad to have her on. So let's go ahead and dive right into what we can cram into in this adjunct segment. It's always a wonderment for me, especially I go around to a handful of different food blogs. You see these great dishes. Your site certainly no different, PatioDaddy-O-BBQ.com. And I wanted you to talk about one particular one that I found fascination with here a little bit ago. It's actually one that you submitted to this national food recipe contest. Tell us a little bit about that particular succulent dish.
Well, what it was is I had already created this recipe called the pomegranate chili lime glaze, and it's available on my website on the right-hand side if you go to recipes. Basically what I did is I cut that recipe in half. So I already had a glaze, which is basically you're making pomegranate molasses, syrup/molasses, and it's got some lime and some chipotle and ancho chili and some allspice in it and some Asian chili sauce. So I already had the glaze. And I was trying to, I already had the glaze when I found out about the competition. So I thought, well, what am I going to submit? And I had great success with it. As a matter of fact, I actually coached a woman in Guam whose husband is a submariner.
Who doesn't coach women in Guam, by the way? Thank you. Now, wait, let me step back here for 1 second.
Do it.
I mean, how do you even devise pomegranate lime glaze? I mean, where does that is that? Did you have a base recipe and you just kind of bastardized off of that, or is this your whole creation?
More of the latter. I've been hearing a lot about pomegranate molasses, and the name kind of intrigued me. I'm a huge fan of regular molasses, and I thought, okay, that sounds kind of weird. I wonder what it's like, and I went and found a recipe how to make it. And I thought, okay, well, it's good and all, but what are you going to do with it? I mean, it's just kind of a really syrupy, thick pomegranate juice, basically. And I thought, well, this is a good base for a glaze, but it just needed something. So I thought, okay, what would go with this? It was pretty tangy, but I thought, well, lime seemed natural to me, and then chili, of course. I'm a huge fan of anything spicy or anything with chili in it. So I thought, well, I'll just kind of tweak this and make a glaze out of it. So I did exactly that. Well, then the next question became, okay, now you got this glaze, what are you going to put it on? And that's kind of where the recipe for this television network recipe contest came from, is I had the glaze already, and I thought, okay, I know I'm going to use the glaze, but what am I going to put it on? And when I was testing the glaze, I tested it on a pork tenderloin, which to me is an underrated piece of meat. And so the recipe I submitted is a spice-rubbed pork tenderloin with this pomegranate chili lime glaze on it. So as far as the pork goes, it's just your basic salt, pepper, and whatever chilies you like. I like smoked paprika. I like, and cumin, of course, is great with pork, and a little bit of garlic. And then so you just rub it like you normally would or prepare it like you would a normal pork tenderloin, except at the very end, you just put a glaze on it of this pomegranate chili lime glaze, and there's a picture of it, of the final product, up on my blog. So we'll see how it goes. I haven't got any feedback, but I've been told that basically it takes them 3 months to go through all the recipes. They got 12,000 last year, and if you don't hear anything, it's like thanks, but no thanks. So it's been crickets so far, so we'll see.
Very good. So the finished product on your website looks great. And by the way, this is John Dawson from PatioDaddyOBBQ.com, food blogger. Also a competitive barbecue as well. You were just was it a competition last week or the week before?
Yeah, it was last weekend up at Snowbird, Utah. And for all you competitors out there, if you ever get a chance or if you're out in this neck of the woods, I cannot recommend that venue more highly. Arlie Bragg did a great job. And, man, you're up at 9,400 feet and sheer mountain cliffs and water runoff. There was a moose 10 feet behind my booth. Hot running water to your site. I mean, it was just beautiful. So, yeah, I just got back Sunday afternoon.
All right, so I'm going to pull back just for a second on the competition side of things and ask you, since you brought it up, you had mentioned when you were talking about what kind of meat to pair with your glaze that you thought that a pork tenderloin is highly underrated. And it's funny because I was just having this conversation with my dad 2 days ago. And first of all, is there a difference between pork loin and pork tenderloin?
Absolutely. Pork loin is a huge... Well, not huge. I mean, it's probably about, 4 or 5 inches in diameter, and a whole loin will probably be about pushing 2 feet long. So it basically looks, the shape is the same. They're long cylindrical pieces of meat, but the tenderloin is basically the filet mignon of a pig. I mean, it's very small. They usually average about a pound, about 3 pounds on the high side. And so the ones I use are usually about a foot long, 13, 14 inches long, and probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches, maybe 3 inches in diameter. And the one thing I would say with regard to pork loin, if you're buying them in a grocery store, is pay attention to those labels where it says that they've been enhanced with a 12% solution. Stay away from that if you can. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to do these days. And if you do have an enhanced tenderloin, just cut back on the salt a lot because a lot of the salt's already in it. And that, of course, applies to baby backs or spares or whatever you find in the grocery store. So enhanced is not quite enhanced.
So any scientific reason on what the underration of pork tenderloin is? Because I love it. I cook it all the time. I just had it on the smoker. I had 2 of them on the smoker when I was cooking ribs for Father's Day. And even at a low and slow 225, 240 degrees over Applewood, I mean, they were just tender and succulent. And, I mean, what's the deal? Why the underration? Well,
one thing I think is they're vastly overpriced in general. I mean, if you're buying them at the grocery store. And then the other thing is I think a lot of people struggle with, well, what do I do with this thing? I mean, it kind of looks like a big piece of python meat.
Right.
So you're kind of like, well, that looks great, but it's pork. How bad can it be? But what do I do with it? So I think it's kind of a barrier to entry. A lot of people just don't know what to do. But if they can get over that hump and do one and just cut it on a diagonal about a 1/2 inch thick and, into medallions, and they'll be pork tenderloin fans for life. But I just think a lot of people struggle with, well, what do I do with this thing? So hopefully I can help kind of dispel those notions a little bit.
All right, so briefly, let's go back to the competition side of things. I don't know if you listened to the show last week, but there was obviously a big shakeup in the Kansas City Board of Directors, which led to a lot of speculation about just the board in general, just about the KCBS in general, and what direction are they heading. So as somebody that takes place or that participates in competitions actively, that being yourself, this is John Dawson from PatioDaddyOBBQ.com. I mean, you've done a number of these over the last, however many few years. Is there something that you're seeing that is kind of recurring that's bad? Is there something that you're seeing that is being changed that's good? What's your overall feeling about competition, and what do you think as a competitor could be done to make the experience better and to head the whole organization in a better direction?
Well, I'll echo what Rod said, that I think all in all, big picture, I think the KCBS is probably doing as best as they can. I have really no complaints about how contests are conducted. I mean, I've only got 10 under my belt, so I'm not I don't have a lot of vast experience, but from what I've seen, they run pretty seamless. The rules are reasonable, with the exception of the Rule 15. You have to have 6 visible portions. I really don't get that, and apparently there's some strife going on about that, so hopefully that'll get changed. But from a conduction of contest point of view, I really have no complaints. My complaints or suggestions are probably a better way to put it. mostly hinge around communication. And I think the KCBS has a huge communication problem. And
John. Lost him. All right, that's no problem. We're going to hook that right back up so we can get his suggestions to what he thinks that the KCBS might be able to do better. Again, we're talking with John Dawson of PatioDaddyOBBQ.com. He is a food blogger. He's also a competitive barbecuer. He's taken place in, as he said, 10 competitions here since he has started competing. And, certainly, as you said, a lot of these guys are doing the better part of 35 or maybe even 40 competitions a year. Is he as seasoned, if you will, as some of these other guys? No, but, the vast majority of people that are competing out there on the circuit certainly aren't sponsored, certainly don't have the monetary wherewithal to compete in those amount of competitions. So he's really more of the majority of the competition barbecuer. So looks like we've run into some issues as far as that's concerned. So we'll go ahead and try and hook that up again at a later point, get his thoughts about KCBS. That'll give me time to, remind you about Joe Bees. That's right, all-natural, free-range bee pollen. I've been taking it for 6 weeks now. Centralites, I feel great, and I want you to check them out as well. 877-300-5632 or go online to joebees.com. Get 6 months, get your 7-month free plus free shipping. Tell Joe B that the Barbecue Central Show sent you. Joe Bees, that's BEES, joebees.com, or give them a call at 877-300-5632. It's got the B vitamins, the amino acids that give you that energy, that great feeling all day without that speed and heroin-type feeling that some of those other things give you. I don't know about the heroin part. All right, it's time to win free stuff. Call in 216-220-0966. You can also email at bbqcentralradio@gmail.com. Uh-oh. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The future of barbecue is already here at thebarbecueguru.com. From the amazing guru that monitors and controls the temperatures of any charcoal, wood, or electric pit to the Caldera Tallboy knockdown smoker. Yes, it breaks down and stores flat, yet it's still a robust, sturdy, portable cooker and smokehouse. It also serves as an efficient temperature-controlled convection oven using wood or charcoal. The Tallboy is designed to fit all catering pans and can be used as a warming oven. You can cook in any style you choose. Make ribs, chicken, jerky, vegetables, smoked cheese, whatever you want. Take it to KCBS competitions and unload it from the trunk of your car. TheBarbecueGuru.com is where you'll find the Caldera 3-Bay Caterer. It's stainless steel and uses charcoal or sterno for chafing purposes. And it doubles as a 3-bay sink or wash station with hot water and knocks down in seconds with no tools required for transportation and storage. The future of barbecue is here at thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU.
Forget going from site to site to get all your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the Pellet Grill Superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber as well as a full lineup of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. You can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Stephen Reichland of Barbecue U fame. Check Fred out on the web at fredsmusicandbbq.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show on LA Talk Radio.
All right, back and better than ever. When I mean better than ever, I mean not really. Barbecue Central show. My stream dropped. Second week in a row. Last week it was timing. This week it's just, I don't know, my internet connection just dropped. Dropped like Perez Hilton. Yeah. All right, so if there's any way you're listening, 216-220-0966. We have a few succulent minutes left if you want to win the 2-pack of Petey River Swamp Sauce. Certainly go ahead and do that. Appreciate John Dawson, although he did get dropped at the end there. Evidently, that was my fault. PatioDaddyOBBQ.com to check out that pomegranate chili lime glaze with the pork tenderloin that is getting no respect in the world of consumer. Although I love it. I love the pork tenderloin. That'll give me a few minutes to read this Billboard sponsor from the BBQ Guru, makers of the CyberQ, the DigiQ2, the Procom 4 wireless, now the NanoQ. Also, the Onyx Oven coming soon to a theater near you. Not to mention a whole host of other barbecue and grilling items that make your barbecue and grilling life easier. Kind of redundant right there. Visit them on the web, thebbqguru.com. You can also visit them via or you can also call them. 800-288-GURU is the number you want to call. That's the good folks at the BBQ Guru. A few more things. Don't forget my last guest, Julie Reinhardt from last week. One of my guests from last week, Julie Reinhardt, still has that competition, and she will be taking entries to win that Traeger Junior Grill until July 7th. SheSmoke.com/contest, or you can just go to SheSmoke.com and you can enter and you can click on the contest link. Barbecue Central Radio, area code 713. Name and where you're calling from.
I'm Ron from Houston.
Hey, Ron, how are you tonight?
Okay. I enjoyed the interview with Bob Trudnak. He's a friend of mine. When I compete on the East Coast, I always get together with him.
Hey, Ron, let me ask you a question. Is the stream coming through right now?
It is now, but I lost you for about 6 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Evidently, my internet connection died there, so that's why my buddy John Dawson from Patio Daddy-O Barbecue got cut off at the end there when he was going to be making suggestions about competition barbecue. So I apologize.
Exactly. I just caught the just when it started to get interesting because I do compete. But I guess on his website he has that recipe. I want to try that glaze that he's talking about.
Yeah, PatioDaddyOBBQ.com. I look at that picture daily just because it's so scrumptious and mouth-watering looking. So definitely something worth trying out and getting your feedback on that for sure.
Okay, very good.
All right,
well,
so Ron, are you interested in winning a 2-pack of Petey River Swamp Sauce, or have you won that already?
I've already won that. Let somebody else have it. I was just I wanted to win last week, but that one ran long too.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Would have been interesting.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me grab this other call. Thanks for calling in, Ron. We'll go to area code 360. Name and where you're calling from.
Hey, it's Gold Bar Bob out in Washington State.
Hey, Bob. How are you?
Good, Greg. Hey, good show. I'm a real believer in conspiracy theories, and it seems like last week when Rob was kind of going on about KCBS, and then this week, and it dropped out again. But it's back.
No, that was my fault. For some reason, my internet connection died, and that happened. So we have just a sparing few minutes here, Bob. So do you have any interest in the 2-pack of Petey River Swamp Sauce, or have you won that already?
How about some swamp sauce, my friend?
All right. You know the drill. Send me your shipping info. This will further the cause of the emails I've been getting about the select hand few of prize-winning decathletes that seem to win every week, and I should be instituting a 30-day ban. What are your thoughts about that?
They just need to call you.
That's what that was my other side of the argument that I was going to be making to myself next week in the opening segment.
I mean, if I can get through, and I got the worst luck in the world, anyone can get through.
That's right. And nobody listens anyway, so your chances are that much greater. So, Bob, send me your shipping info. Always appreciate the call in, buddy.
My friend, thank you.
All right, Bob. That's Gold Bar Bob. Got to get out. Don't want to get cut off again. Thanks to my guest, Bob Trudnak from the BBQ Guru, thebbqguru.com. Thanks to John Dawson, PatioDaddyOBBQ.com. Next week, we have yet another wonderful award-winning show for you. My mom will be making her monthly appearance, so that's all we have currently lined up to share recipes. So until next don't forget, if you like to stay tuned, if you've never heard me get interviewed before, you want to tune back in to Broad Topics. I will be coming on at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time to talk about some basic grilling and barbecue tips. I will be interviewed by Broad Topics. So if you want to hear me get interviewed versus me doing the interviewing, stay tuned for that a little bit later on this evening. And I believe that is it. So until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Reppy. Good night now.
Get going from site to site to get all your barbecue and grilling supplies and make your first and final stop at fredsmusicandbarbecue.com. In the market for a new barbecue pit, we have all the big name brands like Big Green Egg and more. As a matter of fact, Fred's is staffed by eggheads and carries all the parts and accessories for the Big Green Egg. More of a pellet head, you say? Fred's is the pellet grill superstore with grills in stock from Traeger, Green Mountain, and Country Smokers from Louisiana Grills. Fred also carries smokers from Cook Shack, Bradley, and Weber as well as a full lineup of charcoal grills. And once you're outfitted with your new smoker or grill, you'll find absolutely everything you need to make your barbecue or grilling experience a success. Fred is also the creator and distributor of Tasty Licks barbecue products, including their great line of rubs, spices, and sauces. You gotta try them. You can also get your hands on a full lineup of marinades, accessories, lump charcoal, wood chips, pellets, chunks, and even the great grilling tools from Stephen Reichland of Barbecue U fame. Check Fred out on the web at fredsmusicandbbq.com or check out their fully stocked showroom in beautiful Shillington, PA.
Barbecue has never been easier with the BBQ Guru. The BBQ Guru is a temperature control and monitor for all pits, charcoal, wood, electric, your pit. It easily attaches to any smoker or pit and gives you simple, trouble-free control of your temperatures so you can make championship quality barbecue every time and all the time. And it's location-free. Take it anywhere. This amazing breakthrough in barbecue technology is a microprocessor-controlled draft system that uses temperature monitors and a small fan to keep your temperatures constant. The stainless steel Guru Pit Minder gives you a choice of controls from 90 to 370 degrees. So cold smoking, pepper drying, making cheese or jerky, or fabulous briskets and ribs is nothing short of effortless. The Procom 4 lets you monitor your pit from up to 600 feet away. And there's more. Check out the full line of products and accessories for the future of barbecue with new items on the way. Visit thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com. Or call 1-800-288-GURU.